Welcome back, folks, to Borderless Leadership. Betska, the Guru Coach, with Raj Vashisht, co-host from Delhi, and our esteemed guest is Mr. Bimal Raj, Commander Bimal Raj, retired from the Indian Navy. And we've been having a very rich conversation about his book, What Next? The Art of Bouncing Back. And Bimal, I'm sure, like me, you have coached a lot of teenagers through some really rough times. And, for many people, those teenage years are the most difficult.
Yes. Because
our hormones are raging and everything's going, and our parents don't do anything right. We know we have all the answers, And so, and I know you have a daughter named Gia. So tell us about why parenting and why teen parenting, and what's your take on all of this and what we could do to be better parents for teenagers.
Okay. So interestingly, very interestingly, my journey towards parenting happened on the same hospital bed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because, next to we were 4 beds, and one next to my bed was another bed. And people who used to come there mostly were people who were retired, 65, 70 years old people, retired armed forces people, because it's a defense hospital. And first 3 months, I was totally tied to the bed with all the stuff, and I couldn't move anywhere. And people, ex-armed forces, we love to talk, especially when we have an audience. And they knew I couldn't go anywhere, and they used to talk to me. Initially, I was very irritated because I was so much in pain already. I said, I don't want to listen to your stories, man. But at some point, I realized, yes, really, I know, very mean of me. At some point, I realized that these people are speaking from 60, 70 years of their life experience. And at my age, I either don't have the time to listen to them, or I don't have the patience to listen to these people normally. Okay. So then I started listening intently. And on that bed, I don't want to get into the entire detail. It's there in the book. I saw the difference between a good parenting and bad parenting. Okay. I could see 2 people, one person who reached great heights in their career, but their children didn't come even once to see them the 10 days they were there.
Wow.
There was another person who came immediately after him, who didn't reach great heights in the career, but my God, the family. Every evening, there was this bunch of people. The kids would climb over him. And it was very stark for me. They didn't know what they were demonstrating to me because they were individual. They came and went. But for me, it was like a movie in front of me. And both of them incidentally spoke to me about parenting one afternoon. The first one, generally, normal talk, said that, Bimal, I've done a lot in my life and my career, but if I had to do everything differently, I would do it. If I had to do it again, I would do it differently, because I didn't spend enough time with my kids, and that's why they're not here. I don't blame them. And the second person, again, one of these afternoons said, I didn't reach great heights in the career, but I'm okay. I'm fine. Because today my kids love me so much that they don't even let me buy my own pajamas. And he said, at this point in my life, what more can anyone ask for?
Wow.
Oh, and that hit me. Oh my God. And at that point on that bed, I decided, irrespective of what I become, how famous or big I become, one of my core is going to be how to be a good parent. And my journey started there. And I never had any intention of teaching anyone. I just started consuming a lot of information about how to have that great bond with the kids, what happens when kids grow up. And so that's I started it with a very, very selfish intentions, but it has paid off because I have an absolutely amazing bond with my 15-year-old girl. She still cannot go out of the house without coming and giving me a hug and a kiss. I mean,
Oh,
forget at the privacy of the home. Even if I go to her school, she comes running and gives me a hug and a kiss. I think
wow.
all my
That's
training and everything has been worth
that
it.
is very special. Thank you
Yes.
for, yeah, it's if we're going to have
Fabulous.
children. What's that, Raj?
It's fabulous.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
it is fabulous. And I don't know if you've heard this story, Raj, Bimal, but when I come from an abusive childhood, so I had shut my heart down.
Wow.
I had trouble loving myself, never mind loving others. So I had to learn and do lots of healing through meditation and the science of mind kinetics and so on. And when we had our daughter, my heart was still closed.
Oh,
And so I continued on to have this amazing career going, flying all over North America, speaking at conferences and so on. And our daughter was left home with my husband, John. And it was my husband, John, thank God for him, because he was the one who woke me up. And he said, honey, when you're home, maybe you should come to Tanya's soccer games, or maybe you should come to her baseball games and show some interest.
yeah.
Like when she was a baby, I was there for her all the time. But then I also, in that period, had a breakdown,
Okay.
and so and John was afraid I was going to commit suicide. I had gone into a very deep state of depression,
Oh, my God.
and it was mind kinetics that pulled me out. That's what really pulled me out of all that. But I was. It was John who kind of he had a wonderful childhood, and he just inside himself knew how to love children. So he was my big teacher.
Right.
Yeah. So he woke me up, and thank God he woke me up, because then when Tanya was 5 years old, I stopped doing what I was doing, and I stayed at home to walk her to school and and so forth. And that's when another level of bonding started to happen, because I was spending time with her. But it's so easy, Bimal, Raj, isn't it? Like you're busy in your careers and you think your child is okay, but no,
Yeah.
they need us.
So true.
So what do you think are some of the challenges in teen parenting that you could?
The teen parenting, I'll tell you, I keep sharing one quote saying that, we are using 19th century parenting skills to bring up 20th century children, and we are trying to prepare them for the 21st century. It's not going to work. So whatever, see, a lot of people think that parenting is a very intuitive thing. Actually, it is very counterintuitive. We think that so normally parenting is about, what my parents did with me, what worked, what didn't work. What worked for me, whether it worked for me or whichever way it worked for me, I continue with it. What didn't work for me, I try to change it in some other way. But invariably, you'll see that you carry on the same patterns of your parents onto your kids. So some very simple things when it comes to, teenage is the time people feel that the kids are independent and they don't need the parent. In fact, that's the time they need you the most, because that's a time when they're exposed to a lot of things, and they need your guidance, your outlook, your advice, but they're not going to come and ask for it if your normal interactions are not good. A lot of people, I give the example of putting the wet towel on the bed, how parents scream at them when they do it again and again and again. Okay, then now people say that I take that as an example when I'm teaching parenting. Okay. They say that no, don't worry about the wet towel. We can manage all that. Tell us about how to manage, how to, talk to them about the things like sex, drugs, and stuff like that. I said, no, it is your daily interaction that lays the foundation for your connection with them. So if you're going to scream for a wet towel, do you think they will have the courage to come and ask you if they want to find out about anything to do with sex, drugs, or anything like that? No.
Yeah.
So it's just the daily interactions. As long as you, one of the most important responsibilities as a parent is for you to provide the right environment at home where a child can express without fear of being put down, without fear of punishments, without fear of being judged or made fun of. A, an environment where they don't need to second guess themselves before expressing not just their thoughts but their feelings and emotions. Okay, once you create that safe space, your communications lines will always be open. And as long as your communication lines are open, you will be able to build a bond with them.
Yes, yes. And keep the children safe. Like I've worked with teenagers who, cutting themselves and lots of drugs and doing all kinds of nasty things to themselves and to others, and they won't communicate with the parents, and the parents don't understand why.
Yeah.
What you just said is so vital, so that can be reversed. I believe it can be reversed. Sometimes they need professional help to start the reversal. But, one of the things that I always say to parents that the children are mirrors of you.
Yeah.
So what's going on in you? If your child is abusing themselves or abusing others, then what part of you are you abusing? And they don't like that. They don't like to look at themselves.
In fact, I take it one step further. I tell people that, your children are not your reflection. They're your magnification.
Oh, wow. I love it. I love it. That is so good.
So if you're a level 10, your children are going to be level 50.
Yeah, really. Wow. Well, listen, Bimal, it's just been such a pleasure. You're so articulate and your heart is like right here. And so I'm just going to invite everyone again, go to Amazon and buy his book, What Next? The Art of Bouncing Back. And I know there's going to be a lot of information in here on the bouncing back mindset. And also go to Spotify and listen to his Awkward Talks podcast. And you heard that he does training programs. So on top of this video, around it, we're going to give you his contact information. Give him a call. Yeah. Thanks, Bimal.
Thank you,
Lovely having you here
Betska.
today.
Thank you so much. It's been my honor and privilege to be associated with you right from the time we met a decade back. Thank you so much, Betska. You have been an inspiration. Thank you, Raj. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
No, bye.